to the We Three Bros podcast. It's me and Joseph again this week. Justin's enjoying some vacation time. He's down at Cedar Point actually riding the roller coasters, so I'm kind of jealous. I would love to go there. I haven't been since like 2005. But me and Joseph are back again to hold down the fort. What's up, Joseph?
What's up, Derek? It's good to be here. Yeah, man, Justin is out this week. I haven't been back to Cedar Point since never. I've never been, but I'm sure
You're
it's a good
missing out,
time,
bro.
man.
It's like the
Uh,
most, I think they have the most roller coasters out of any amusement park in the world.
you're kidding,
Nah,
dude. I love roller coasters too.
me too.
Scared as shit of them, but also I enjoy them, and I think it's less of like them going too fast. It's like I'm more so afraid of falling. So like going
Or
up,
if, it,
I'm like, oh,
or if it's going to launch you into the fucking stratosphere.
oh, yeah, your fucking testicles go up to your throat, and you're just like, oh, well, there goes the third Adam's apple right there. So.
So if you plan a trip up here, we'll have to like plan a day to go down there and just ride some roller coasters.
So what is Cedar Point exactly? Like I know they have roller coasters.
So it's
it
like Six
amusement park?
Flags. It's like
Okay.
Six Flags, but they're most known for their roller coasters.
What's the theme there? Do they have like a particular theme, or is it just like because like in the Six Flags where I grew up, it was like very
It's like
heavily
Looney
influenced.
Tunes and DC and all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Then
But I'm
yes.
not sure if Cedar Point is the same. I don't know if they have like licensed mascots. Like they might have their
Oh,
own because
because
I don't
Busch
think they're
Gardens,
affiliated
like
with
Busch
like.
Gardens has like. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but Busch Gardens has like amusement parks, right? And
Well,
or
yeah,
do
Busch
they
Gardens
not?
is affiliated with. They're owned by Budweiser, I think, or Anheuser Busch.
No shit,
Yeah,
dude. I had no idea.
yeah. So like I went to the one in Tampa way back years ago, and they
With
had one
your
of
uncle, right?
yeah, they had one of Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s cars there. Maybe I don't know. They had a couple of NASCAR cars. I don't know if he ever drove for Budweiser. It was
I
one of the
haven't.
drivers that drove for Budweiser or Bud Light or one of those. So they had NASCAR,
Yeah.
a couple of NASCAR cars there.
You're telling me you
That
don't watch
actually,
NASCAR every weekend?
yeah. So yeah, I don't know if Cedar Point has a licensed mascot or if they have their own. I don't know if they're affiliated with anybody like how Six Flags and of
Okay,
course
so they don't
Disney.
so they don't have like mascots or characters or anything like
Not that
that
I
there
know
then.
of. I can't remember. But
Like
it's
what are the
been
roller coasters like called?
so one is like the last one I rode is called the Millennium Force. And at the time it was like the highest and fastest roller coaster.
Oh shit. It reminds
And
me of
then
like whenever I was a kid and I'd go to the flea market and I really wanted Power Ranger toys, but they had like the Ranger Power
right,
toys.
yeah, the off brand crap
Yes. So the Millennium Force sounds like the Millennium Falcon, but
Falcon.
it's like, we're gonna
They
twist the
had
words, but it doesn't really sound like that.
they had one called the open later called the Top Thrill Dragster or something like that.
Okay,
And it
that's
was
a cool
like,
name.
and then that one became like the fastest roller coaster at the time.
And these are all at Cedar Park.
Cedar
Or
Point,
Cedar
yeah,
Point. Cedar
yeah,
Point. Sorry.
yeah.
I'm saying Cedar Park. I live in Austin. There's a place called Cedar Park, so I'm getting it confused for some reason
But
with
I
Cedar
mean, I
Point.
don't know what they have now because, like I said, last time I was there was like 2005, so it's been years since I've been there. So who knows what
At Busch Gardens or
at
Cedar
Cedar
Point?
Point, yeah.
Oh, Cedar Point. Yeah, you said that at the beginning. I'm not listening. Sorry, folks. Apparently, I don't listen to Derek when he's talking. And also, if you guys are enthusiasts of NASCAR, didn't mean to shit on you guys. I was just saying that you know Derek and myself aren't necessarily connoisseurs of NASCAR, but hey, NASCAR is pretty cool. So if you get down with some NASCAR, good for you, right?
I mean, I'd probably go to a race just to say I've been to one. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. I think we have like a Formula One race coming up here soon. Um, and so I know that's kind of one of those things where I'm like, oh shit, Formula One. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not interested, but shit, it's just kind of an experience thing to do. I
Yeah,
think it'd be pretty
I
cool
would
to do.
go. That'd be cool.
I mean, at least they have like turns and stuff that they have to kind of go around and see them kind of zooming by.
It's not left
Uh,
turns all the time.
I mean, come on now.
I mean, they do have road tracks in
Wait, they
NASCAR.
do, they do, they do. I'm
Like
just,
the one in New York, Watkins Glen. When
yeah,
I was growing up, we'd live close to there for
yeah.
like a year. I think it was a year, maybe two. And we used to ride our bikes up there to watch. And you could pay and take your car on there, like your car. Like we saw
What?
Ferraris up there. One time I saw like a Volkswagen, or I mean a Volvo station wagon zooming around the track. Like you can
What?
pay money and take your own car on there during the off season.
Go burn the shit out of your tires while you're there. That's fucking
And
awesome.
and then I remember when we were living up there, a driver died on the track because of a came into a corner too fast and like slid off the track. So
Damn.
my dad worked on a construction crew at the time, and he was on the crew that like put this little like S turn in there to slow people down before they got to this major turn.
Oh
So
shit.
my dad actually worked on the racetrack
Dude,
when I
that's
was younger.
awesome. That
Yeah,
no, that's super cool. And I bet from like a just kind of go back from like taking a turn or something like that. It was probably like you know how it is. You're trying to put a good, you're trying to get behind a vehicle and go at high speeds. Like
yeah,
you and myself, like I'm not, I know how to drive on the freeway, but at high speeds, I have no idea, right? So
yeah,
trying to go like 140 miles per hour and taking like a fucking 90-degree or 80-degree turn or something like that, like, and I'm trying to go 140 miles per hour, I'm gonna crash or something's gonna
yeah,
happen, man. Like I'm gonna
yeah.
spin out. Like my car doesn't know how to do those kind of things, or at least I don't know how to do those kind of things. I know you're supposed to steer into the turn or some shit like that, or steer into like the snow or rain or I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
Man, we don't got none of that shit here, man. It's fucking dry here. Like it rains, but just stay on the road, go slow, you'll be fine.
right.
Hydroplaning. I mean, I'm not trying to drive crazy on the rain, man. Like the shit scares
Right.
me anyway, so I think I'm gonna take it easy on that. But yeah, no. But Cedar Point, man, it sounds like a good time. It's if it's anything reminiscent of like Astroworld or something, I'm sure I'll have a good time.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, Astroworld used to be, a theme park that was in Houston for many years. I know
Yep.
Travis Scott, which is a current rapper, he kind of wants to bring it back. He even has like a lot of his, music and titles of his music sometimes are kind of like Astro themed. He
Yeah.
has like an actual like a music festival that he hosts in November, and it's called Astro Fest, right? And it's just kind of like an homage to Astroworld because he remembers going when he was a kid, and was like a good experience for him. Like which I
I've actually
what's up?
been to Astroworld when I was a kid. I
Yep.
remember eating the Smurf ice cream.
What?
Yeah, they used to have Smurf ice cream, and it would
What?
turn like everything blue, like whatever it touched turned blue.
Do
And
you remember
as a
what
kid, you
flavor
have
it
ice
was?
cream all over the fucking place.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you remember what flavor it was?
I have no idea. I was
Yeah, it reminds me of like that Dave Chappelle stand up, man, when he's talking about grape drink
oh yeah,
or purple drink or something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that. And it's just like you go into your fridge. That's how I feel like it was. Like my mom would bring home these fucking, barrels of juice, and I was like,
with
I don't
the
know what fucking
aluminum lid.
yeah, yeah, with the aluminum lid, and you would like drink it, and it's like I don't know what fucking flavor green is, but I want green. Or
Right,
like blue, like I don't know this shit by name. Like my mom doesn't know. I still to this day I don't know where any of those fucking colors are or like what the flavors are. I just know the colors.
right,
Like I just know like hey, if that bitch is green, it's good. If it's
right.
purple, it's okay. It's supposed to taste like grape. Does it taste like grape? No, it doesn't taste nothing like grape.
It
It's
tastes like
fucking
purple.
it tastes like purple. Exactly. Like when you get hit in the head hard enough and you're just like, shit, I taste purple. It's one of those things,
Right.
like fucking concussions, and you're like, all I taste is purple. I drink all I taste is the barrel drink, right? So, with that, it's like I don't know what that shit is. You know what I mean? So I wonder if the same thing for you. You were just a kid, fucking eating a bunch of sugar, and you're like, I don't know what this tastes like. It tastes like
Yeah.
fucking sugar and coldness, right?
Right.
Getting this shit all over your face. But yeah, man, Astro was a place that we used to go to as a kid, man. Like every summer, I remember my sister used to take me. I was terrified of roller coasters until like about the eighth grade. We took a school trip to Astroworld, and they kind of closed it down for just schools around the city of Houston, and we got to just be there from literally from I think it was like from the morning until at least the afternoon or something like that, man. And it was a blast because like there was no lines. Think about it, man. Like you go out there
Yeah,
like
it's just school. The kids, school kids.
that's it, man. It's fucking a bunch of preteens and teenagers just fucking running
Yeah.
around acting a fool, man. But it was a blast because again, the lines weren't long. You can kind of like, you just got on every ride. You know how it is trying to go to like
Yeah.
a place or whatever. So I'm shit. Fuck, you used to work at an amusement
Disney.
park before, so I'm sure you used to see the lines fucking crazy, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't believe you used to work for Mickey Mouse. It's fine.
Yep. I worked for the Mouse House.
Well, Mouse House, one of these days we're gonna have to talk about our experiences living in New York. One of the episodes. One of these episodes, man, we got to talk about our experiences and just some of the cool things we saw, some of the wild things we saw, just the experience, because you know how it is, man. So, but yeah, I just thought
Yeah.
about that right now. I was like, man, one of these episodes we have to just call it New York and just talk about just the things that only happen in New York and just don't happen anywhere
And
else in the
Justin has
country.
some because Justin came to visit when I was living there, so he knows a little bit about some of the stuff in New York. So
Oh shit, him too. He can come in, man, because I'm sure there's some stories that we can share with some of the listeners and just things that we experienced and kind of dealt with and had to deal with, and it's just again, you just don't experience any of the other places, right?
yeah, right.
But changing gears a little bit, man. How was the weekend? I know we talked about we had some things to do. I know I did some stuff, man. I would love to share with you guys, but what are some things that
So
you got to do over the weekend?
it rained pretty bad on Friday, so nothing much happened on Friday.
You said you were supposed to go to a drive-in, right?
Yeah, we're supposed to go to the drive-in to watch Black Widow, so it didn't happen on Friday. So
Oh shit.
we went on Saturday though. So it was the first drive-in I've been since I was a little kid. So
I was about to
um,
say, like, how was the experience?
so I don't know. I don't know if
If
I
you
would
guys,
go back.
yeah, if you guys can see his face right now, he's like looking like, oh man, it looked like you don't know what to say, but you didn't have a great time.
I, I, I don't know if I'd go back. Well, for one, the audio comes over your radio, so
Yeah.
and then everyone else's radio. So people are by you, and if their windows down, you're going to hear them too. There was this guy that was like diagonal to us in the front row, and he had a like an expedition. And when he opened the back, it was all subs and all that stuff. So when he was playing it over his speakers, there's a ton of bass. So a
Oh,
lot of the
that's
audio,
annoying.
a lot of the vocals got drowned out because his guy's radio, his
Yeah.
system was a lot of bass. So you hear the rumblings and the boo, and
Oh,
it just drowns out a lot of the vocals. So I didn't get to hear a lot of the conversations because in movies they have like the background music to add dramatic effect or whatever.
absolutely.
So that kind of sucked. And then I kept having to, I'd turn on my car every like 45 minutes or so just to make sure my battery didn't die.
Hmm.
And I'd turn on my car, but I would
I
turn
didn't
off
even
my
think about
headlights,
that. I didn't think about that. Yeah,
but
your
my
battery could
running
die.
lights would stay on. And my running lights are bright. Like it's LED neon or like amber lights on the front of my car.
Okay, too fast,
So
too furious. Calm down.
yeah, but it's
I'm
it's
just kidding.
it's not like it's on my head. It
No,
was
for
like that.
sure. Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't turn them off. Like you can't turn them off. And the same guy with all the all the bass, came over and like he's like, "Hey, can you turn your lights off?" Like so, this dude's complaining to me when I can't even hear the audio because his bass is so damn loud.
Oh
And
shit.
when they first showed up, like you're not supposed to like you can bring your own snacks, but you're not
Hmm.
supposed to like cook. And this dude had a grill, electric grill, off the back of his truck, and he's cooking meats.
No, he isn't.
For real. And
Derek, no, he isn't.
the drive-in people, like the workers, came by a couple times to tell him he can't cook. This dude's up there cooking like grilled meats.
Oh
And
no.
then he had the world's largest folding lawn chairs. I kid you not, Joseph. These things were like 10 feet in the air. Like like you ever see like the exaggerated like the folding chairs, like with the cup holder and everything in it? So
Yeah.
his was like he had two of them that were oversized. Each arm had three cup holder holes.
Oh no.
So these things were huge, and it didn't block the view or anything, but it was ridiculous. Like this guy set these giant ass lawn chairs up.
Okay, so the first part, like you talking about the cooking with the electric grill out there, already kind of took the cake there. But the fact that he had these chairs too, like, it doesn't surprise me because he's cooking out there when he probably shouldn't be, anyways. But with the
Yeah.
chairs, man, like, come on, that is ridiculous.
And then there was some guy like behind us in like a Dodge Ram pickup truck,
Hmm.
and his was older truck, so I'm sure he probably had to run it longer. But he ran it for at least an hour and a half. So all I could hear from behind is, the sound of a diesel truck idling that
Yeah.
like for half the movie. The worst, man. The worst.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys didn't know this, Derek is forever not going to drive-in movie
Yeah. Probably
theaters
not going to a drive in again.
unless
Which
he's seen
sucks.
the movie before,
Yeah.
and then maybe he'll go for
Or
the
maybe if they have
experience.
subtitles and I can read the damn subtitles.
Which is kind of stupid that they don't.
Yeah. So I don't know. And it kind of sucks because there's movies coming out that I want to see, but Petra doesn't want to go to a regular theater because of the whole, COVID and
Yeah,
everything. So
of course.
she doesn't want to take any chances, being in a room with a bunch of people.
No, I respect that. I mean, you could do two
So
things, right? You can either
looks like
uh,
bootleg for me.
well, we can't say that on the air. You can't say that or
Just
not on
kidding,
the
just
air,
kidding.
but
No
just,
bootlegging.
no bootleg, no bootleg. Wink, wink. No, just kidding. No. I was like, with two options. One, you can pay $30 to Disney to watch the
Yeah.
film, which fuck, who wants to do that? Or two, um,
Just wait until
you
next year when it actually comes out on Disney for
yeah, or
for
go
the regular price.
or go by yourself. Just take notes and then come home and reenact everything for her.
Right.
And this is how Black Widow fell on the ground when she got hit by whoever, right? And then
Yeah.
jumped up and she did this karate move and just start doing them in your living room, man. And then film them and then talk about them the next time we have a podcast.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just
Next,
this one. I don't know. Maybe other drive-ins are better, but I'm not, I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to find another drive-in to compare.
okay. Did you like the movie at least?
But the movie I actually thought was good. I remember before I said I wasn't sure because of how the casting of Taskmaster.
Yeah.
So I mean, you didn't really get to see the actress that played her, but a couple of times because she wore the helmet
Okay.
the entire time.
Yeah.
But then the backstory for her wasn't anything like the comics. So I don't know if you've seen where Taskmaster in the comics, he was an ex-Shield agent,
Yeah.
which makes a lot of sense. So he would know who the Avengers are. He would know all that
All
stuff.
their weaknesses, right?
Yeah.
Their strengths as well.
But in this movie, it's not. She has a different backstory, which ties in with the movie.
Okay.
So, other than that, though, I mean, it was a good movie.
Did you
I
like the
enjoyed
Red
it.
Guardian? I heard the Red Guardian's pretty
Red
cool.
Guardian was hilarious because he always told stories about comparing himself to Captain America because he's like the Russian version of Captain America.
Yeah,
so he was always comparing himself to Captain America and telling stories and stuff like that. So which was cool.
Mm-hmm.
He like the way they interacted with him was good. That was a good parts of the movie.
Okay, yeah, I heard he's fantastic in the film. And then I actually saw something recently where Kevin was it Kevin Feige? It's the guy who
the producer,
the
Feige or whatever. Yeah, I know.
However you pronounce it. But he was saying that he would love to see a film where Anthony Mackie's Captain America and Red Guardian, kind of go head to head, right? Which would be kind of cool. Which would be kind of cool to see, right? I don't know how they would.
Because Red Guardian is technically a super soldier too. Just
yep.
It's not the same serum that Steve Rogers had.
Yeah.
But the new Captain America, Falcon, he doesn't have any of that. It's just he has a suit.
Right.
It's a suit.
Yeah.
Kind of like Tony Stark, but to a lesser degree.
Yeah, not as probably technically advanced or something. Still has some abilities. Maybe gives him a little enhancement and strength and stuff, right?
So then the after credits scene, like I said, you probably have to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier to get the tie-in with that.
Okay.
But I think it's going to lead into one of the next series that's going to be on Disney Plus also.
Okay. Which do you know? Is that a kind of like a supporting cast member, or like a supporting member, or is it?
So I don't want to spoil anything because you haven't seen Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Okay, but there's a character from the show.
So you don't. Yeah, there is one character, and then it's implied on who the other character is, and then
I appreciate the no spoilers, man. I appreciate that.
And then it'll tie into another Avenger. Let's say.
Okay. We'll leave it at that, man.
Yeah,
that's a good stuff. But I was really hoping that you would say that the guy with the electric grill was not having fireworks or some shit like that. Maybe he had some sparklers.
I'm surprised he didn't. After everything else that he had, giant chairs, grilling meats, tons of subwoofers with LEDs around him.
Oh shit!
And his expedition was like lifted, bright yellow. The interior was yellow. It was craziness all the way around.
Okay, that's just absurd.
So anything else he wouldn't have done probably wouldn't have surprised me after that point.
Did he have kids with him?
He had kids, yeah.
Oh shit! It makes me think like he's done this shit before.
He's had to have. This guy has probably gone to every movie that comes out at the drive-in. There's no way he didn't.
Yeah, that's where he spends his time now. Like he doesn't go anywhere else. He doesn't go to regular movie theaters. Like for him, it's a drive-in experience because his dad used to take him, and his dad had fucking obnoxious, stupid shit. And now he's a stupid idiot who does stupid shit too.
Right.
Well, it sounds like you had a great weekend, man. So I'm glad.
Yeah, and then Sunday we went to Top Golf and hit some golf balls for around an hour and a half. And
you said
I was sore the rest of the day.
Oh, you are sore. Okay.
But not anymore. Well, my wrist still kind of hurts a little bit, but other than that,
Well, when you're out there trying to golf when you're 72, man, I just don't know if your body still works. I think Arnold Palmer went for a long time or something, but I don't. It may not be suiting you, Derek. Don't hang it up just yet, though. Don't retire just yet, man. Keep working out.
So you just stayed home all weekend, right? You're just in the house, quarantine.
Quarantine? No, I know, man. Just like I told you, man, I got to go to the con over the weekend, which was an awesome experience, man. But before I get into the con, so they had this. There was a bar that was near the convention or behind the convention, and they were doing. I guess it was like an unofficial like hosting.
Uh huh.
So meaning that there wasn't going to be an official host, but people who were like affiliated with the convention or it's called Comic Palooza, affiliated with Comic Palooza, they went to the bar and they were giving like they're not giving badges away, but if you bought like tickets or a badge, like you could pick them up there.
Oh, okay.
And they also had like trivia. They had trivia. They had like 3D. No, not 3D. They had a 360 camera, so you can stand in the middle and they would take photos of you.
Okay.
So a 360 camera. They had some trivia stuff, and so I was like, all right. I was like, let's go over there. So we went over there, me and some friends, and we did a giant Jenga. I was on a team. My team member, hopefully you don't listen to this, but if you do listen to this, my team member was not the best and causes a lose both times, right? So we decided to do individual, which we would all kind of go by ourselves, and then so we played two more games. I was still in the game, another person was in the game, but then another person got out, so it was like four people. Then we kind of went back to three, and then it was me head to head with another guy, right? And I asked a few people that if we're playing giant Jenga, right, and you're stacking the blocks to the very top, and the other person stacks it on the top, lets it go. It's my turn now, but it falls over because I didn't touch it. Do I lose or does he lose?
Huh. I don't know. I haven't played Jenga enough. I would say they lost if you didn't touch it yet.
I didn't touch it. I was just looking at it, and then it just kind of fell over. Now, I told him this, but I think the guy was a little tipsy. I told him, I said, "Hey, man, I think I bumped the table, and it caused it to knock over."
So if you did that, then you lost.
But I didn't bump it on purpose. Like I was standing up and like I just kind of put my leg like near
Yeah.
the thing, but I think I hit it just enough for it to fall over. So I told him I lost, but he said that I won, and he was salty of it ever since. And I told him we get him a rematch. But anyways, why I'm talking about all this stuff is at the time we were playing Jenga, I decided to go to the bathroom. And when I was going to the bathroom, it's like this bar is awesome, man. They have like a small mini like indoor soccer ground or field in
Yeah.
this bar, right? I would say it's at least probably about 50 feet, long and probably like 30 feet wide or something like that. And if not 30 feet wide, it's a decent size, right? But anyways, as I was walking by, I saw people playing cornhole, but there's a sign that says after 9:30 they do dodgeball.
What?
And so I was like, okay, whatever. But I was tipsy, man. So I was like, I wasn't fucking paying attention, right? So I went to the bathroom, came back, and so we started playing Jenga, and I tell everybody, I'm like, hey, they're doing dodgeball over there after 9:30. They're like, no way. So anyway, so we keep playing. It's 9:30. One of the guys is like, I'm gonna go check. So he runs over there and comes back. He's like, they're actually playing dodgeball. And I walked out there, man. Where I was like, let's go over there. We finished the game. Like I said, I beat him. I lost. Whatever. I didn't mean to hit the table. Whoever lost, right? So we walked over, and sure enough, man, people were playing dodgeball. I would say it was probably about 6 or 7, like 7 versus 7 or something like that. They
Yeah.
put balls in the middle of the field. They'd go 3 rounds. You'd swap fields or I guess goals or whatever,
Yeah.
like sides or whatever. And it was best out of 3. But there was these ladies that were playing, or these women that were playing, and it was like guys versus girls or whatever. And those girls were fucking awesome. like those guys were like, they looked like they were all in shape, like they've been working out and everything like that. But those girls were like whooping ass, man. Like they kicked those. Like I think they won the first game. They lost the second game. And in the third game, and there was even one game where it was like one girl by herself, 3 guys, and she fucking came back on them. Like she
Dang.
caught the ball, she brought another team member. One of the guys got out. One of the friends like hit him. Like everybody assumed that they played softball because one girl was like underhanding them
Yeah.
and fucking throwing rockets, right? Again, I'm telling this story because it's gonna get to a point, right? So they're playing dodgeball, man. It's awesome to see. I'm all like, this is cool, and I was sitting there and I was like, I think I'm gonna sign up. I said, fuck it. I'm already buzzed. I don't give a shit, right? It's like I'm gonna go out there, right? So anyways, I go out there. I'm like walking. All you have to do is sign a waiver. I sign the waiver. I'm walking up to the entrance of the field, and they're letting people in, and they stop at me and they're like, hey, you have to get the next one. You have to come in the next one. I was like, cool. So I was waiting. Boom, boom. Game goes over. The guy comes up. He's like, all right, man, you can come on the field now. And he takes my waiver. I walk up to the other goal and I turn around and guess who I'm playing?
Them girls.
I'm playing those girls, man. We got an all guy squad. Like there was two guys on their team, and I guess they just wanted girls on their team, so they like got some other girls to like come in, and they switched spots with the guys or something like that. And I'm playing those girls. I got booed. Not just me. I say but my team got booed almost the entire time. We were getting called names, and we kicked those girls' butts. But look, it was we weren't gonna lose, man. We were competitive just as much as they were competitive, man. And we beat them the first round. They beat us the second round, and then we just destroyed them in the third round or whatever. So, but it wasn't just me. I got those guys were good that I was playing with. I wasn't taking it serious. Those guys were serious. Like some of those guys were on that team that lost
Yeah.
that previous game, so they were out for blood, man. And I was just
Right.
like, dude, it's not that serious. Just having fun. I'm kind of tipsy here. But yeah, I did dodgeball, man. That was awesome. Like it's like 11:30 at night, and I'm playing dodgeball at some random bar, man. It was
That's
wild.
awesome.
But that's cool. That's what happened that night. That was Friday night. This Saturday, man, went to the con. I think I texted you. I saw a lot of costumes there. Some of the costumes that I saw were, a lot of Scarlet Witches, but it was like the old school costume, the one
Yeah.
with the red and like the crown and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I
Yeah.
saw a lot of those. I saw quite a few Loki costumes as
Yeah.
well. One of my favorite ones was there was a guy who had he had an alligator that had the Loki crown and he had his
Oh,
hand, so he was walking around like dressed as was it
President Loki.
President Loki with the crowns and stuff, and he had an alligator just hanging on his hand the
That's
entire time,
awesome.
which was pretty cool. Saw some. There's a guy who had a Boba Fett costume that was pretty sick, man. Like he even blew smoke with the laser beam to kind of mimic fire
Oh
from
wow.
like his. Yeah, I saw a few Mandalorians. Quite a few Grogus, like people had a few Grogus with them,
Yeah.
kind of walking around and stuff. And then, what else did I see? Just some really good. There was a Venom. There was one guy who had a Venom, and he had to be at least 10 feet tall. He was I guess he had stilts, but he turned the stilts into Venom's legs, and he had like extenders on the arms, and so
Wow.
it was a giant, like I said, about 10 to 15 feet tall, giant. I mean, fucking huge, like Venom costume, man.
How
It
did
was
he even get in there?
Dude, I don't know. He looked like he was put inside of like a fucking what is it? It was like a human inside of a robot or some shit like
Yeah.
that, right? Like he was inside of he was just kind of walking. But I just remember like when I first saw him, like I saw him at the corner of my eye. I just saw this huge like black thing, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what the fuck is that? And it was just a giant Venom costume, and it was sick, man. Like, but I saw him like he didn't have his arms on, or like he only had like one arm off. I guess the guy was trying to like rest his arm or some shit, but. Which brings me to the question to you, man, and I asked you this question is, would you ever go to a con? You think you ever would?
Yeah. I mean, I don't. I've always wanted to go. Just
Okay,
I guess the opportunity never it wasn't the right time. I guess I don't know, but I would definitely go.
okay. And then the second question I have for you is, would you dress up? Do you think you would cosplay?
I mean, if I had a cool enough costume, yeah, I wouldn't
Okay,
don't go in like one of the ones you buy at Halloween time from Spirit
you
Halloween
can't,
store for
you
like
can't,
$50.
no, you can't do that, man. Like you have to actually legit like make it right. So,
Yeah.
and the reason I asked is I don't think I ever would. I don't think even if I had like the best costume, man, I don't think I would. For a few reasons. One, man, they get stopped a lot. You get stopped a lot.
Oh,
Like if
people are
I
wanting to take pictures.
like if I want to like I like going to enjoy the con, and I know that if I dressed up like one, I would enjoy because one, people would take photos of me, right? They'd
Yeah.
just stop me and take photos. Like if I had a good costume, obviously.
Yeah.
Two, man, you have to wear that thing all day,
Yeah.
right? Or at least the majority of the day, depending how long you're gonna be there, right? And what's that?
Well, if you if you did a simple costume, like you could be what's his name's friend, Ant-Man's friend.
I hate you.
Like
I
that'd
hate.
be an easy one for you. I think it's just like a wardrobe change for you. Maybe a shave.
You what is it? Oh damn, what's the guy's name? I don't know. I can't remember the character's name. Is it friend? No, not Francisco. Fuck.
I don't remember. Who's the actor? He's also in Chips.
Well, I know the actor. It's Michael Pena, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Luis. His name is Luis or Luis or Luis. I think it's Luis. No, if I was gonna dress up as anybody, I was gonna dress up as your hero, man. Jose Altuve. So just get that correct. I got dressed like my brother, man. If you guys don't know this, Derek is always giving me shit about me and Jose Altuve being brothers. So anytime Jose Altuve does anything good or bad, he's just like, "Hey, your brother fucked up," or he's like, "Oh shit, damn your brother," or some shit like that.
Yeah, bro. All you really need is a hat with a flat bill and a hoodie with a shirt underneath and a button up underneath.
For Michael Pena, for Luis.
Yeah, to be Luis.
Oh shit! Yeah, I know, man. But that's one of the but that's one of the reasons why I wouldn't dress up or cosplay. I think that it's just it's a lot of work, right? And an investment to me,
Yeah,
right? But I see why people do it, man. They have a blast. Like the people who do it, man, take it serious and they
yeah,
have a lot of fun, man. And I respect that. Like that's awesome. I appreciate it. I appreciate them coming to the con dressed up because it gives me appreciate their art, appreciate
yeah,
characters, right? Like
yeah,
there's one guy there that had a phenomenal Batman costume, like
yeah.
phenomenal. But he was dressed up as a Batman from the games, like the Warner
That's
Brother games,
cool. Yeah,
and
yeah.
he was sick, man. Like he looked super jacked. The only thing that my only comment for that gentleman, and shout out to you, man. Like great job. Like costume looks great. He was a little short. Like he was a little bit, he was probably just a little taller than me, and I'm short myself, right? But he was probably a little taller than me. Like Batman's like 6'4", 6'5". He's like a tall guy. So, but that guy's costume was legit. He had a really cool costume, and also, man, one cool thing that happened to me is on Friday, and I forgot to mention this is as I was walking, and it kind of ties into the con. I was leaving the hotel to go get some food, right? You know what pizza place I was going to downtown in Houston?
Frank's.
I was going to Frank's, man. I was like, I gotta give me some Frank's pizza, like, really good pizza place. But in Houston, if you guys are ever out there, whoever's listening, Houston, Texas has there's a great place called Frank's Pizza. It's great, it's really really good pizza.
New York style pizza.
New York style pizza, absolutely flat or very thin crust, large slices, man, delicious, right? As close as you can get to New York and the state of Texas, in my opinion. Um, but as I was walking out the hotel, man, I saw this like old guy, right? And I mean, I hate to be that guy and be very stereotypical here. Like I stereotyped him immediately when I saw him, but he had some brown Dickie shorts, like a long white T-shirt. He had his hair in a ponytail. He had like a cholo hat and stuff, long socks on his shoes and stuff. Man, he looked like a cholo. So I was like, oh, but he looked like an older guy, like a grandpa kind of guy, right? But I see like the hotel manager is like all dressed up in a suit and he's like talking to him. He's like, hey man, any kind of accommodations you need? Hey, these are some directions to this restaurant. And just talking to him, right? And they were just, he was like trying to help him. Like you could tell the managers like thought this man was very important. But I was just like, oh,
Yeah,
that's sweet. Like this guy's being really nice to this old man, right? So anyways, I'm starting walking or whatever, and I'm like on my phone, like trying to find directions to Frank or how to get there and stuff. And my friend points out, like, she like touches me on the shoulder and she's all like, hey. I was like, what? And she's like, that's Danny Trejo. And I was like, what? And so like I turned around and looked. Sure enough, it was fucking Danny Trejo like walking
what?
right next to me and shit. I'm all like, oh my god! But I just like, man, when I sometimes we get like I got a little starstruck, so I kind of froze and was like, oh shit! So I didn't even get to talk to him or say anything or ask him anything. But
Yeah,
I was just like, I was close enough to touch him, Derek. Like I was
that's
literally
awesome.
almost shoulder to shoulder
Machete.
with him, machete, right? Like, yeah, I was like, so, and he took a walk, he took a right, and he started walking towards like this restaurant, but just by himself, no security, no nothing, man. I got to see his Q&A at the con because they did
Yeah,
some, Q&A, man. He was hilarious, right? Like they were asking, like they asked him a question, like, hey, what are some of your, what was your favorite scene in a movie that you ever did or whatever? And he just like, or what was something that you really loved to do, like in a film or whatever? He's just like, oh, he's like, one of my favorite characters is probably, or I guess, I'm sorry, I butchered that. They asked him, like, what's his favorite character? He's like, oh, I really like playing Machete. He's just like, because they asked him, like, hey, was there any character that you played that you loved playing, but you wouldn't have minded if somebody else played that character either? He's like, oh, yeah, the Machete character. He's like, I thought he was badass. He's like, I love that character, but if I didn't get to play that role, I didn't care who it was. Like, as long as that movie came out, like,
yeah.
I would have loved it and watched it, right? And then he goes, he was like, another thing that was probably my favorite thing about that movie is that I got to kiss Jessica Alba, and and he's like I messed up that scene like 7 times just so I could continue to kiss Jessica Alba, and I was like, oh my god, this dude is ridiculous. But no, his Q&A, like whenever he in front of the audience and stuff was amazing. He was hilarious. He was charming, man. He was funny. Like there was some woman that walked up to him and like she's like, I guess he wrote a cookbook. I don't know if you knew this, but like,
Nah.
he made a cookbook. He wrote a cookbook, and so the lady was just like, "Oh, I love your ingredients. I love your cookbook." Like she had it with her. Like she's like, "Hey, can you sign it?" Or like,
That's
"Hey," like
crazy.
whatever. And then she had a tattoo like on her like leg or whatever. And so he started talking about like, oh man, tattoos are funny. Like he was telling the story about how like he's like, yeah, he's like, if I could, he's like, I should host a contest with all the people that have like my face tattooed on them. Because he says a bunch of people that have his face tattooed on them and
Yeah.
stuff, right? And and he's just like, yeah, he's like, I remember, he's like, I was in, El Salvador or somewhere, right, somewhere out of the country, and he saw some guy with his like a tattoo on the side of his head, and it was of Danny Trejo. He's like, man, that tattoo is awesome, man, and like, and so he said he saw another lady, and she had like a tattoo of him like on his breast or whatever. He's like, oh wow, like that's a really nice tattoo. He's like, I wonder what your husband says, says about that. And he's just like, oh, my husband doesn't care. He has a tattoo of you on like on his shoulder or some shit like that, And but yeah, no, man. So his was really cool. I really liked his Q&A, and I know you and I kind of discussed some of the stuff, just some different like panels and stuff. One of my favorite panels they had was there was a discussion on Bob's Burgers, and I wish I remember the guy's name, but there's a guy who he gave us like he analyzed Bob's Burgers and like how much it doesn't, it was like positive masculinity and what was the and like feminism. It's just kind of how it plays in the role, how well it's like both of those things are written and stuff. So that was a really cool like panel. And I mean, I wish I could plug the guy's name. I think he has his own podcast and stuff, but I can't remember the guy's name, but it was really cool. So that was cool to see. Got to play NBA Jam on the Super Nintendo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and my friend that was with me, I kicked her ass in it, and I say I kicked her ass. I beat her by 1 point, but she was making these fucking ridiculous shots, man. Like literally on the other baseline of the court and just fucking hitting X or Y or whatever and fucking just draining them. Made no sense. Well, she wasn't even on fire. One of my players had like 60 points. And like she just kept fucking just destroying me in there. So that was that, man. I was just like, all right, whatever. And then we played Ultimate Werewolf. I played Ultimate Werewolf from like was it 6 o'clock, like 5 o'clock until almost 1 a.m.
Wow.
I don't know if you ever played Ultimate Werewolf.
Nah.
Oh man, it's a great like group game. So if you have like a lot of people, like anywhere between like 10 to 15 people, or more, and like some of the groups that I was in were like 20, 25. What they do is they give you cards and you're identified as certain characters. And you're a village, like if you're a villager or you're a wolf, right? If you're a wolf, you want to kill all the villagers, and if you're a villager, you want to kill all the wolves. But you don't know who's who, right? And nobody knows who's who, right? And so what they do is they make you close your eyes, and then there's somebody who's hosting, and that hoster is like, all right, I need the werewolves to open their eyes, and then they're like, I need you to point a number and kill that character, right? And so if they say like 11, well, they get to kill 11. Well, when they wake up, the host is like, hey guys, there's been a murder last night. Number 11 is dead. Now you guys get to vote and nominate who you think the wolf is. And so you start nominating people, and if you nominate somebody, they have to defend why they're not a wolf. Even if they're wolf, they have to defend. And then the other person has like gets to, or they get do that, and then they get a rebuttal to say like, hey, this is why I don't think I'm a wolf, and then the whole town votes on them. So at the earlier rounds are rough, because it's like the first round is tough because now you have to decide who it's at random. Like you can literally be like, I think number 11 because they look sketchy. It's like, what the fuck? How do I look sketchy? And it's like, well, I got called out a few times because like I'm a little introverted in large groups, so sometimes like you put me in those, man, I kind of get shy and I don't talk much. So a lot of times I got accused a few times because like, hey, look at number 12. He's not fucking saying anything. Maybe it's him. I'm like, I don't fucking know what to say. I'm not gonna start pointing people and being like, you're the person. No, you're a wolf. Because as soon as you start doing that, man, you start having 4 or 5 other people pointing at you, being like, maybe you're the wolf and stuff. So, which by the way, I got this really cool Wakanda Forever like Black Panther T-shirt, and I think on the back has like some really cool designs, man. So, Black Panther coming out. So bought some T-shirts too. T-shirts, lightsaber. I showed you that one earlier, man. Finally got a lightsaber. Been needing one of those for a long time. And I bought some artwork too. So.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How many is there? Like, is like the team's balanced? Like, is there the same amount of werewolf as villagers, or is there more villagers than there are werewolves?
There are more villagers than there are werewolves. Okay. Usually, like I think.
So if it's like 20 people, 5 people might be werewolves, and the other 15 are villagers. 2 werewolves.
Two werewolves.
Okay, so that makes it more sense, because if it was like evened out. That'd be ridiculous.
No. It's 2 werewolves, and then you have like minions, so people who help the werewolves, and then you have people who like they have other special abilities, but I just kind of wanted to narrow it that. But yeah, there's some
Yeah.
people who can wake up and they're like the seer, and a seer is somebody that you wake them up and you're like, all right, seer, wake up, and they wake up and they tell the host like, hey, they ask them like at number 12, right, and then the host will tell them whether they're a villager or they're a werewolf.
Oh, okay.
So they have the ability to tell the group like, "Hey, number 11 is a werewolf. I saw them." So but sometimes like if you're a seer, you could say like, "Yeah, number 11 is a whatever." I could come in and let's say I'm a werewolf, I could be like, or a minion, I could say, "No, no, no, no. I'm the seer. That's wrong. Number 11 is not that person." So I could be devil's advocate. And some people
Yeah.
are dicks and they go in and they just kind of start fucking shit up and don't play their characters right. And then there's other people that just play their characters right. So it
Yeah.
just depends.
That's cool. It'd be fun to play.
Yeah, man, it's a cool game. Like if we could ever get like a larger group or something like that, for
Yeah.
sure, like getting to do that. But yeah, Werewolf played that, man. Like I said, there's a bunch of art galleries. So I got to see a lot of independent people, like independent comics, kind of trying to make their way. I told you about some of the other celebrities that were there, and they hosted panels for just different individuals. They hosted podcasts, and yeah, man, it's a lot of fun. If you ever get a chance, I don't know if Michigan, I'm sure they have their own kind of convention or something like that. If you ever get to go to one in like that's in Detroit or one of the larger cities or anything like that, highly recommend, man. They're a lot of fun. Right, you can
Yeah.
buy a bunch of stuff. There was a kid that was sat next to me when I were playing the Ultimate Werewolf. He had like a bunch of comics that he bought that were graded like 9.5. You know, 9.0 and stuff, and he had some old ones in there, right? He had some from the 70s, some from the 50s, and he paid like pretty decent money on them, whether they were
Yeah.
like $50, $30, $75, $100. Like he spent the money on them, and they were 5 cents when they first came out.
Oh yeah.
So he just kind of he was putting them in there for like an investment aspect, right? But yeah, man, the con was awesome, had a blast. Like
What was
I can't.
the? Did we both buy the same comic at that? When we went to that gallery in New York, we went to that museum and they were having like a comic gallery,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
we each bought a comic. Was it? Did we buy the same one?
I
I
I
don't even
don't
know where mine
remember.
is. I mean, it's somewhere. I'd have to dig it out where that
Yeah,
comic
it's
even is.
so if you guys don't know, me whenever I went to before I moved to New York, I went to a place in um or we went to so when I went to New York, they were hosting a gallery for like John Romita Sr. or Jr., I believe, and a few of the other artists, and they had a lot of the first edition, or I guess some of their artwork, right, that they had
Yeah.
kind of posted in there, or I guess their artwork they had done on like their original pieces that they eventually put into a comic book. And so they had a lot of their artwork all over the wall, and it was a cool little museum, man. They had amazing, amazing artwork there from Stan Lee. I don't know. Well, I don't know if he ever did any artwork. I'm sure he did, but if I just remember that John Romita Sr. He for sure had some artwork there, and people who did like Thor, people who did the Amazing Spider-Man. I think Galactus was some of them, some of the X-Men and stuff. But that was a cool gallery, man. That was
Yeah.
just like we got lucky to go see like some of that stuff.
Yeah. That was pretty cool to see all that.
And of course, we went to the comic book store in at New York too. So if you guys ever get a chance to go visit that comic book store, it is pretty cool too. I think it's Forbidden Planet. That's what it's
Yeah.
called.
Yeah.
And I think we went to Think Geek too
Yeah.
afterwards or something like that.
Yep.
Oh
That's where I
man.
got my not when we went, but later on at that Think Geek that we went to by Macy's. That's where I got my Infinity Gauntlet,
Oh dude. The
and then
Thanos one,
and then
right?
carried that thing all the way back home on the train.
I wish you had it on just so you could just be like,
It's
fucking with shit or
it's
whatever.
in the box. Both of them are still in their box.
You said both of them are still in the. Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
the Infinity Thanos' gauntlet and Iron Man's gauntlet.
So you had wait. So you wait. I thought you take them out or no?
No, I never took them out. They're both never been out of their box. I mean, I eventually would. I guess if I had a place where like I had a room where I could display all this stuff, then I would take it out of the box and put it on a display. Because I also
Mm-hmm.
have like that that Lego Voltron that's still in the box.
Oh yeah.
So that
Where'd you
would be
get that
something
one from? Did you get it from like
from the Lego store.
from the Lego store?
So
Oh no, you know what? I'm thinking of something else because I think you showed me some what's it called? Was it some Voltron or some Autobots from like a thrift store or
Transformers.
something? Transformers. There it was. I said Autobots. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm like making shit up now. Sorry, guys. But no, so yeah, I didn't know if you had got some of those things from, or if you had bought them from there. But if you got the Lego ones, then that makes a lot more sense. And then, so we got to see that, which I thought was really cool. Just kind of seeing all the, um, all the things they had. I'm sure they had some of those. I did see Gauntlet there. Somebody
Yeah.
was selling a Gauntlet. It was like on top of somebody's table or whatever. They had it out for
Huh.
display.
Yeah.
I think they had a bunch of original prints for like just photographs and like them signed by certain celebrities and stuff.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, man, they had a variety of things. Again, like I said, highly recommend, man. It's a huge space. This year wasn't as big as it has been in the past, and obviously
Yeah.
because I think the restrictions and everything, and they just didn't know how many people were going to show up to it and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think next year they're going to host it on Memorial Weekend. So
Oh wow.
yeah. If you guys want to make a trip out here, man, feel free. We go out there to Houston and check it out. But it's something to think about maybe in a year from now.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. I know they got one coming up here in like October in Michigan. I don't know how big it is, but
Okay. Yeah, I would say maybe check out like try to see like what's it called? See like how many participants I guess, and see maybe how many tickets. I know the one in over here that they say that they have quite a few people, right? So
yeah. Um, yeah. So were you there? Did you just go one day to the con, or was it
yeah, so I just went
Saturday?
one. Yeah, I just went Saturday. Usually it's like a 3-day event. But with it, obviously, I think they were trying to because I think the VIP tickets were like extremely expensive, or at least more expensive than they have been in the past, right? Like
Yeah.
what you would pay for like a 3-day pass was a lot cheaper. But again, I think that, and I think because of like that, I only wanted to go one day, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
I could have went the second day, but I was just like, let me just go one day. I think the second day didn't even have that many things kind of going on, and it's a lot shorter, like the time
Yeah.
frame, so or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
because
but
it's usually on a Sunday, is the last day of it or whatever.
there it is. But
Yeah.
that's also the day like where you buy everything super cheap. They may not have all the sizes of stuff, but it's super cheap there.
Because it's all they got to get rid of the stuff so they don't got to carry it home with them.
There it is. There it
Yeah.
is, man. So, for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, that sounds like a cool weekend. I'll definitely have to try to
Check
get
it
to
out.
check out a con.
Okay. Also, just one, just kind of, I know I'm always changing gears here, but the one other thing I know we wanted to talk about was the Rick and Morty episode. Did you watch it? Yes or no?
Yeah, I definitely watched it. It was an awesome episode. I think it was on par with even the one from last weekend.
Okay.
So yeah, it was. I thought this was a really good episode too. I really liked this one. This was.
I think it's so funny, especially with like poor Jerry, man. He has to get shit on all the time. Right, like he gets like they come in and they're like, we just like suffering. We want to see, we want to feel the pain. We love all this kind of stuff or whatever. And then like, he's just being Jerry, and poor Jerry just gets fucking just destroyed all the time. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't get no love, and even from his own wife, which again isn't surprising, but. That was pretty cool, and then the ship thing was kind of trippy. They always have to
Yeah,
add some kind
like
of
she
weird
was sentient basically, and just like went ham.
and was just destroying everything. I want to know, and like I want to know the repercussions of what's going to happen. I mean, obviously we won't, right? We'll never know, but I would
Yeah,
love to see the repercussions as to like what's going to happen afterwards, right? So
yeah. It was definitely an excellent episode. Definitely worth watching. I would probably go back and watch it again. So yeah, I'm loving this season so far. This is a good season.
oh yeah, me too. I think again, like you and I talked about it before. Like, how absurd is it that he like went to hell and or like these people came in, he had to go to hell. Like fucking like it just blows my mind. Like the directions they can go. They can
Yeah.
literally go anywhere, right? They can go wherever they
Someone
want.
must have been watching Hellraiser when they were writing this episode.
Oh, for sure. Like like I guess whenever they were writing it, they were like, "Hey, dude, let's write something about Hellraiser or
Yeah.
whatever."
And it was all like knockouts because like the torture devices were like coat hangers and pens and staplers and paper clips and stuff like that. And I think they brought that up. They like when they said that Rick was paying him back, they were paying Rick back for, or he was paying him back by letting him be entertained by Jerry for bringing him the wrong materials or whatever, or something like that.
Yeah, like it was that, and then was it and then speaking of knockoffs, right? Like the Autobots or like the Transformers, the Transformer characters as well, right? Like,
Yeah.
that was another one, and they dressed her up like a fucking robot.
Yeah, and then head fell off.
The head fell off. They were like, "Oh my god!" And so she ended up fucking burning them to death or something.
Yeah, that was.
Like I told you before, I thought that they were gonna have robot sex. Again, this show just takes it in those directions sometimes. With the kids inside the ship, I was like, or at least I thought that, like, for a second, I thought she was like, I thought the suit or like the robot costume that they put her in was a part of her.
Yeah, I thought so too at first.
And then, like, once the head came off, I was like, oh no. Or before that, like, once the head cut off, but I was just like, man, are the kids still in the ship? Because if they are, they're about to witness some things that they don't want to witness.
Right.
I was like, this isn't going to go the way that I think it's going to go. But nah, man, like, great episode. I love the direction and where it's going. I hope to see. I can't wait for the next episode, and see how that one kind of unfolds and stuff, right?
But, I'm excited for the next one.
For sure, but we'll talk about that next week. As always, man, I guess we're gonna go ahead and call it here. It's always great recording with you, man. I'm gonna do my quick outro. If you guys see me on the website www. I'm just kidding. I don't have a website or anything like that. But no,
we do have some news talking about websites. We are in the process of starting our own We Three Bros website that'll host a podcast. There'll be some other stuff on there. Maybe some like get to know us pages. So for me, Joseph and Justin, so you can get to know us a little bit besides what we're talking, when we talk every week. So yeah, more to come on that in the future. This is just, some preliminary stuff. We're hoping to get this website up and running soon, but so we'll keep you updated on that. Definitely.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely, man. It'll be some good stuff. And as always, I'm always looking, and I swear to find him eventually.
Maybe he'll be on the website.
Just throw his image right on there, man.
Yeah. So yeah, I want to thank everyone that listened this week. I want to thank for all the listeners that listened last week and every other episode that we put out. We really appreciate all the support.
Absolutely.
Anytime that someone listens to us, it's just, for now it's making us happy. It's something that we look forward to, is seeing that people are actually listening to us. So yeah, thanks everybody. I want to thank Joseph for being back here again.
Co-host, let's go. Glad to be back, man.
So yeah, I think on that note, like I said, thank everybody.
Thank you guys.
And we look forward to seeing you in the next one.